All right, guys, top of the morning. Happy May 16th, coming to you from the heart of New York City. I am in Times Square right now. I'll show you the view in a second. It's absolutely incredible. But just want to start out with the message of gratitude. Obviously, you guys know I've been on the road this last week. I traveled through 7 states. I spoke in 4 different states, 4 different keynotes. Unfortunately, I have a sinus infection. I feel like shit. However, the show goes on, and it's been incredible to meet amazing people. I have one of those amazing people here today, but it's just been an incredible journey to be able to hit the road, to meet all these people. And I always say this, you guys, like, we get to do this business. We get to do this business. And allow me to always be that reminder that none of this existed. None of this existed 5 years ago. And now there's so many opportunities for each of us. And so go out there and build, and don't let anybody stand in your way, because each of you have the ability to build something remarkable. And that's what you guys are doing. And that's why you're in this business. So I'm going to go over to Brandy. Brandy, you're going to take us out on the field on this amazing Friday morning. Brandy, let's have you send a message out, bring the people out, and tell them what you're most grateful for on this beautiful day. Let's roll.
Well, good morning, guys. I actually woke up on the wrong side of the bed until I dropped my little boys off at school, and they're like, "Mom, hold us." And so I'm walking into school carrying two 30-pound kids that both want to be carried. And then I just smiled and I was like, I am so grateful for this. So I am so grateful for waking up, so grateful for the opportunities and to be where I am. And I think that should be the sentiment for today. It doesn't matter where you're at, what you're doing. It just matters what your next step is. So
You know what? That's right. That's right. Sometimes all it is just a hug. You're like, oh man, that made everything better. So, Brent, I appreciate that message. You guys, let's go into this. I wanted to share a thought with you, and I wrote this down. Let me let Andrea in the room. I wrote this down. I want to share this thought with you and this sentiment, and it's centered around growth. And the statement goes that we embrace growth to the grave. And I want to share this with you. It says, you are him, you are her, so act like it. Stop waiting and start doing. Believe in yourself. Take risk. Take action. Walk like you own the world. Create like the world is your canvas. Build like the world is your foundation. Own your problems. Own your solution. Stop making excuses. Persist, 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 and never quit. Just thought that was a really, really powerful message for every one of us. Right? Like, we have the ability to step up and say, you know what? Like, I'm going to own this, and I'm going to have some fun, and I'm going to create. And every single day is a new opportunity, right? I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't, nor do you. But what you do have is you have right now. You have this moment to make the calls, to hit the gym, to tell somebody that you love them, to mend a relationship, to go and take that walk, to eat something that's going to actually nourish your body today. You guys have today. Stop thinking about all the things that you're going to do tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and you don't do it. And then tomorrow comes and you don't do it. All you got right now is this moment. So my question to you and the challenge for you is, what are you going to do today? What are you going to do today for your business, for your life, for your health, for your relationships? Stop putting everything off. Stop thinking that tomorrow's going to come, because in any time, this could all end for us. Let's just be real. And so I want you guys to be very, very present and know that, listen, I'm going to make some steps today. This is why when we talk about action, being in motion, continuously doing the things, you guys, I'm not just saying it because it's in this season. I'm not just saying that because it's a novelty. I'm saying that because all you got is right now. All you got is right now, and that's all that matters. So I want you guys to embrace that moment and go and do something today that's going to move your life, business, health, and relationships one step further. So any thoughts, sentiment on that vein? Gary, you always have contributions, and we hear from you. Chris, any thoughts, contributions on that vein? Let's hear from you, Gary, then let's go to Chris next.
I mean, I kind of said something in the chat. I always said, why wait? If you're trying to do something amazing, why wait till tomorrow when you could do it the day before? Which would be today. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the best time was yesterday, and the second best time is right now. It's what, like you said, the moment in time, the only thing you can control is the exact breath, moment, the second that's happening. And to your best ability, I know your attitude determines everything, right? That's why gratitude is so important. Gratitude, empathy, understanding circumstances, being culturally competent, right? Things that that sometimes might offend people because we come from a lot of us come from a place of not arrogance but expertise, and sometimes, at least I'm brand new, so what I've seen is sometimes people try to tell people instead of teach people. And I think we got to get back to being teachers. Get back to being teachers so we don't sound like we know it, but we're sharing it. It's two different languages. So let's do that this weekend.
You know what? I absolutely love this, Gary. And so it's kind of like show them the way versus tell them the way. Like, hey, let me like walk with me, right? We're just going to head down this path together. And so, Gary, I think that resonates with me, at least. I'm sure it resonates with everyone. Chris, I want to hear from you, big dog. Any thoughts, sentiment on what was shared? Let's hear from you. I'd love to hear your contributions.
Yeah, pretty much the only thing we have control of every day is our effort, our attitude, and the energy we project. So you got to make sure you keep all three things in alignment, and because once those things are in alignment, the universe is not going to conspire in your favor. So you got to make sure you have the right energy, the effort, the right attitude, and project the right energy to be real with yourself. Keep it moving and
Chris, you're kind of cutting out, so I'm going to put you on mute, big dog. Sorry about that. Your audio is cutting in and out, but I caught some of it. It's all good. You guys, when I think about where we are in life, and listen, I'm 45 years old, 45 years old, and I feel like things are moving in a really positive direction, but I'm not the dude that comes from money. I'm not the guy that comes with all this expertise. I'm not this guy that comes with all this, higher education. I just have a energy, and I've been really, really consistent. And so there's the blueprint, right? You meet every day with a certain level of energy, you stay consistent, you have the discipline to stay consistent, and things can change in your business. And so, Chris, I really appreciate that sentiment. Jacob, good to see you, big dog. How are you? Suited and booted.
Yep, ready for today.
Good, man. Well, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for being on. I wanted to go to one of our guests today, and Misty, I'm not going to call you out to share the entire story because we haven't had that conversation, but Misty came up to me the other day, and I got to meet her in the hallway in Virginia, and she just had a light about her. And I told her, I want to help her in the future be able to tell her amazing story. And I'm not going to ask her to share that with us today, but Misty, I just want to say hello. Welcome to Keep It Moving Group Coaching. And if you wanted to say hello and maybe tell the people maybe a thought or takeaway from our time together while we were in Virginia, or maybe something you learned that day, or just say a simple message to everybody. But Misty, hello, and these are our people. So welcome to Keep It Moving. Let's roll.
Thank you so much for having me. I just want to say hello to everybody. I'm loving this message, but I want to tell you guys one thing cool. I grabbed my notebook while I was waiting to be let into the room, and I started jotting down a few things, which is kind of ironic because it's exactly what you're talking about. The things that I wrote down were things that I know that I need to be doing every day for myself, which is walking, eating better, sleeping better, waking up early, journaling, and writing down my goals every single day. So I think it's really cool that I wrote this before this Zoom ever even started. And that's exactly what the conversation, is kind of about. So I'm really digging that.
Yeah, isn't that weird how the universe works, right? Weird how the universe works. And so, Misty, I'm excited to not only get you here, get you in this room, but I made a promise to you. I said, I'm going to do whatever I can to help you amplify her message. Because how many of you have a message that you want to share with the world? Please raise your hand if you have a message that you want to share with the world. How many of you are already telling that message in your way? Right? And I look around the room, the Brandys, the Chris's, the Jacobs, the Otises, the Ryan, like you guys have this opportunity to say it. I've been able to speak my truth, been able to share about addiction, my mom's addiction, growing up on the streets. And I'll tell you what, you guys, your story is going to change somebody's life. I promise you, your story is going to give somebody hope. They may borrow some of that belief until now they feel so confident about their own life. So you guys, every single one of you have something you've gone through. Jacob, I know what you've been through, bro. I know what you were still going through, bro. That story in itself is going to help somebody, and it's going to be a hand, right? And it's going to be a hand for them to grab and say, come with me, I got you. I got you. So I want to encourage you guys to walk into that purpose. Whatever it is, you all have a story, you all have a past, and that it makes your whole entire journey in real estate human. As long as you allow people to come in, as long as you allow them to see the real person and the real struggles and all the things that you've gone through, this business is not fucking fancy. It's not fancy, right? People see the nice stuff, but at the end of the day, you guys have made some serious sacrifices. You guys have gone through a lot of shit that nobody sees and nobody is awarded for. You don't get an award at the end of the year for all of those things. And so I'm inspired by you guys, and what I want to inspire you to do is to really walk in your purpose, tell your story, and feel free to be able to express that. And I promise you, so many people will gravitate towards that. So let's get into some action, you guys. It is Friday. I want to talk about action and what you guys have done in order for you to create some opportunities in your business this week, as well as in your life. And I want to share with you how amazing it is to be at this company right now, EXP. We got to see the president of the company speak this week. We got to see huge contributors in our space speak. We got to see last week the #2 team in the world speak for all of EXP. They have over 300 pending units right now. And every single person said the same exact thing. Like, the growth is in the dirt. The growth is in the dirt. And what we mean by that is that if you're doing the gritty shit and if you're out there knocking on the doors, making the videos, making the calls, like, that's the dirt, right? The dirt's not spent planning and thinking. The growth is right in the dirt. So I want to encourage you guys to get into the dirt. We heard some powerful, powerful messages. Get your hands dirty, get out there, because that's how we're all going to grow. So I want to ask you guys, I need 5 people to get involved in this conversation. What did you do this week? What action did you take this week? And what are the results in your life and in your business? I want to know what the strategies were. If you fought some hard-fought battles this week and won, got an offer accepted, got a new listing that you're going live with, crushed your open house, dropped a video that just went viral. I want to hear from you guys. So I'm going to pause for a second. Don't make me look bad because we have a guest here, okay? I need 5 people to talk about action that they have taken this week and what has been the results in their life and in their business. And if nobody throws their hand up, guess what I'm going to do? Because I'm just going to call on you. So I'll give it a couple seconds. And Jacob, you're up first. Brianna, you're up next. Brandy, you're up next. Snow, you're up next. And then Mama San, you're up next. I want to encourage everybody, get your cameras on. Don't forget that this is recorded. Okay. Last thing I want to do, put on YouTube with a bunch of blank faces. Let's go, Jacob. What do we got for them?
Yeah, so I mean, to be honest, I had a pretty rough week. I got one accepted, me and Otis, and then they backed out the next day because they said they didn't know the numbers, which we told them, but they said they couldn't afford 6,000 per month, only 5. So we ended up having to resend the offer, but we got 2 more in the pipe right now.
All right, so Jacob, let's talk about this. And Otis, if you're here, would love to hear your contributions on this as well. So Jacob, when this handles or happens, how did you guys handle that? What was the, communication? Like, how are you keeping them in the fight? Like, what happens next?
So, I mean, to be honest, for these people, honestly, they're done because this is the second time they've done it. We wanted to give them one more chance because we went over everything again. We had a buyer's consultation with them one more time, but they are like from a different country, so they do like take things a little bit in a different way. It takes them a little bit longer to comprehend, but we did our best with them. This is just going to give us more opportunity to go after the more aggressive buyers who are actually serious. So I mean, it's it might be not too good right now, but it's a blessing in disguise. So
all right, and so Jacob, if I hear you correctly, is this a buyer that you're, as of right now, no longer going to choose to work with?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is a powerful moment because listen, even as a newer agent, obviously you're working with a more experienced agent. Like, if you can say, you know what, this is my boundary. We did this once before. Let's call that a one-off. We did it a second time after we guided you. We answered all the questions. You knew exactly what the monthlies were going to be because you talked with your lender. That's not on us. You talked with your lender. They know what you're qualified for. At this point, I don't feel that we can no longer serve your needs as a real estate team, and we wish you the best of luck. That, my friend, takes courage. It takes courage, and it takes you to have the boldness to say, I no longer am going to work with you because I'm protecting my boundaries as a businessman. So Jacob, this is a huge learning lesson for you. Good job. Otis, let me hear from you, big dog.
Yeah, like Jacob said, I mean, I know probably like, you guys are what? You guys aren't gonna work with them? And yes, because we have a certain bar to set as ourselves as buyer's agents, the listing agent was pissed, and I wouldn't blame her. You know what I mean? We talked about it. We went for 3 days before we placed the order in. I mean the offer in. And one thing I got from Gary is we don't write offers, we write contracts. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I had to tell Jacob, stop fucking being timid with them. If they're not gonna work with us and take our advice, then we're gonna fire them. And Jacob had that conversation with him. So they kind of manned up, womaned up, you know, instead of putting every contingency in there, we only went with the appraisal because we told them, you know, show us that you're serious. A non-contingent offer on a home that doesn't have as much damage. They kept trying to buy a house for over $800,000. When our lender, Christina, told them they couldn't do it, they went to the bank, told them they couldn't do it. I don't understand for whatever reason they went to their cousin, and then their cousin tried to throw game on us, telling us we weren't professionals, that we were just trying to get our 2.5%, that we weren't having the best interest for them. And we had to have a one-to-one on him with like, hey, you just got to the party, my guy. We've been working with your cousins for over a year. They've been telling us this. That at first, they couldn't afford a $3,900 payment. Then they couldn't afford a $4,300 payment when we know they could. So, yeah, you know, you can't waste your time with people that's going to have you all over. I know she was on the line, so I had to make sure that she heard it. And I said, you know, this isn't right. They owe Jacob money. You know, they owe me money, too. But Jacob's been the one that showed them over 50 homes, been working with them for over a year. So, you know, at this point, like either you guys go through with this contract or we're gonna fire you. So we sent the cancellation, which they still haven't sent. And we told them, you know, Section 29 liquidated damages, even though you haven't sent in your EMD, like they think this deal is still going on until you guys send this cancellation. So it's definitely hard working with people that understand English but don't understand common sense. So we had to let him go. And I had to tell Jacob, yeah, you're a newer agent, but you're attached to an experienced agent. And between the both of us, we have over 1,000 leads. So stop treating these people like they're on the upper echelons of we have to do business with them. Sometimes you have to fire people. And that's just what this was.
Listen, we never compromise our values, right? That if they're trying to stretch our values and what we offer them, then we have to set a boundary. And it's not just in business, this is in life. Right? If somebody's not respecting your values, if you continue that to allow that to continue to happen, then that's on you. Right? If you guys said, I'm gonna let this buyer walk all over me, let's go see another 50 homes. It's all right. We're gonna make some money off it. No. They violated the values and your guys' time and the boundaries, and I'm glad that you're putting your foot down and making a stand. So congratulations for you guys for just having, you know, the integrity to stay bold and say, I'm not going to work with this person. So well done. And now you have time to go work with the people that actually are ready to listen and heed to your guys' advice. Brianna Tejeda, you got the left side of your hair curled. Let's go to you. I want to hear the action that you've taken this week. What's going on? Share with us. I want to hear your action strategies. Let's roll.
Well, I am dealing with my anxiety this week and today. So why not get my hair half done and go speak on Keep It Moving group coaching, because that's going to get me over it. So I'm actually going to an event today that I wasn't going to go to, then I was going to go to. So me and Brandy are going, and I am going to put myself out in front of the first intermingle of my previous career and my real estate career. And there's going to be people that I have worked on with in my oral surgery career there today. And I'm going to put myself out there.
Okay, Brianna, okay, this is a really big moment for you. First off, I'm happy for you. I don't know if you're just going to go with half of the hair curled. If that's the way to have the conversation, do whatever you're going to do, okay? And do whatever you're going to do. However,
it's getting curled.
So what is the event? First off, let me hear that. What's the event?
It's a lunch and learn that Brandy actually found. And when she sent it to me, I was like, wait, I know her. I've worked on her. And I'm like, and she loves me and she's a powerhouse. And she's now with EXP. So all these things are aligning up. So I'm a little anxious and not having the best of week with that. But guess what? We're crimping the other side of the hair and we're putting big girl panties on. And we are going to the event, anxious or not. Oh, well.
Listen, Brianna, all you need to do is just let your energy shine and go and be the person that you are. Like, just go have some fun with them and talk to them. Just be human by osmosis. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm this. Like, it's going to happen. So just go and be yourself, have some fun. But I love this for you because I know that there's huge opportunities in your past career that can definitely help you build your real estate business. So I'm happy for you.
you. I'm happy that I'm gonna push past and do it, even when I'm a little bit nervous. Just because, you haven't seen them, new career, but if you're nervous, keep it pushing, keep it
That's
moving.
right. Hey, Brianna, really quick before you head out, or before you go off of this topic, you've kind of fought through some things in those last couple of weeks of intensity. Tell me about where you're at in intensity, and talk to the team about that, because I know it's been kicking you in the ass. And we do our sessions at 6 a.m. in the morning, you guys. High level,
Yes, and you
ultimate
know what?
accountability group, 6 a.m.
6 a.m. That part I actually am starting to love because it is getting me up earlier more now. Intensity this last week was challenging for me. I almost took a strike, and I've done intensity. This will be my third time, and I haven't striked out. And I leaned in on my group, Blessing and Brandy and Hugo and myself, and I just told myself, like, no, you're not striking out. Like, there's absolutely no excuse. And this week, I actually told myself, not only am I going to door knock because that was what I was going to strike out on, I'm also going to circle prospect at the same time and do more than what was expected of me last week, just because I want to push myself, because I felt like last week I almost got stuck. So, no, push past it further. Go, go, go. I'm coming for it.
Okay, I
Coming
absolutely
for
love
it
this. I
all.
love this. It was really, really good stuff. Brianna, before we go to Patrick and then to Brandy, do you have your digital card ready to share with people today?
Yes, and I have a little bracelet that I won on the
Of
team
course
that
you
I'm going
do.
to be wearing also.
Of
And it
course
pulls
you do.
it pulls up my Instagram when I blink you.
My wife's over here laughing. All right. We appreciate you. Brandy, hang tight. I'm going to go to you in a second. Patrick, you threw your hand up really quick, big dog. Let's hear from you.
Hello, hello. All
We got
right.
you.
Yeah, no. For Action Fridays, the last 2 3 weeks, me, Luis, and Jacob have been pretty consistent in hitting the phone books, right? And even though I haven't personally landed a listing appointment the past 2 weeks that we've been doing it consistently, Luis has been hitting something. Jacob has been hitting something, and that reminds me that it's really powerful to be in an environment of winners, right? Of people that just really want to hustle, and that's something that I had to, I guess, refresh in my head, and it just feels nice, seeing other people motivate you as well. So
So I absolutely love this. And so tell us about when you say hit the phones, who are you calling? What is the list? Talk to me about that list.
yeah, we're doing expiries. Luis has Vulcan 7, so he gets, a bunch of leads every day. I'm hitting this Zillow seller pond. It's the lowest hanging fruit right there. And Jacob, he doing his thing. I think he's doing expires and Zillow seller ponds too. Just working on our craft, sharpening our irons.
So here's what I want you to do, Patrick, and anybody else that's in the seller pond. Go to Zillow, take their address, get the Zestimate. Okay? Get the Zestimate. Text them that Zestimate and say, Tom, Zillow has your Zestimate at X amount. I have my opinion. What's yours on this value? That's it.
Okay.
And let them
Okay.
respond. Let them respond. Okay. So they're, oh God, I don't like that. Oh, that's great. Okay. Oh yeah. They probably don't know the local, and then you just spark a conversation, right? I have my opinion of the value. What's yours? What? No, that's way too low. That's way too low. Or I had no idea my home was worth that. Cool. When was the last time you got a home valuation? Cool. Let me hook you up with that. I use this tool called Real Scout. It's going to give you a monthly. And by the way, if you were to plan on selling the house, where would you go next? Just have that conversation. Here's the value. Here's my opinion. What's yours? Simple, simple, simple. But I love that you guys are working the phones. Let's go to Otis really quick. You had your hand up, and then we'll go to House of Mama-san, and then back to Brandy. So Brandy, don't go too far. Otis, what do we got for them?
Just very filled with a lot of gratitude. This win has been months in the making. My boy G is finally officially good. He got his key. He got everything. He's officially on the team. And I just want to say, it's just been a very good past year, and I'm just very excited now, with this three-headed monster with Gary and Jacob, and we open for business. It's not just between the three of us. Anybody else on the team that want to rock, we building something over here, and I would just be ecstatic if everybody could open Gary with his open arms. He's a true hustler. He knows a lot more than just real estate, but everything that he knows is just going to transform him into real estate. And I truly believe him when he says his first couple of deals, he'll be past 20 million before the summertime. So watch out for my boy. I'm super proud of you, Gary. Super proud of you, Jacob, and what we got going on here. And yeah, man, I'm just really juiced. Like Pat said, this old dog got his first cycle going in. It's like I'm renewing this thing, and it's just like I ain't gonna lie to you. I was kind of like, damn, like I'm starting to feel like the old me where I get to a point of being successful in something and just kind of want to get out of it. So, the staging company too, I'm trying to plug it right now. So anybody needs staging, holla at your boy. You know what I mean? I'll let you guys take care of me
Shameless
after
plug,
escrow.
shameless
Just to let you
plug.
know, shameless. But just really thankful that, I'm on this team. Like, I don't know, from the guests to the newer agents, don't let the uncertainty of people telling you stuff that the grass is greener. This team is where you're supposed to be in this moment on these phone calls, or where you're supposed to be. We have great leadership that go out places. I mean, I'm pretty sure Elias and them would have want to go to all them places anyway, but they go out there to see what's out there, to know that we are the best. And the reason for that is just look at everyone's growth. There's people who've been on here for a couple weeks to a couple years, and just look how they're doing. Like, we're all thriving. So if you're in a mode where you feel like you're giving up or you're doing something, reach out to somebody. I always tell new agents,
Right.
there's somebody on this team that will love on you and help you. You just got to find them. There's over 200 of us, so I'm pretty sure you'll land somewhere.
Otis, I really appreciate you saying this, because I want to ask you to stay off of mute for a second. Stay off of mute. Have I displayed my willingness to want to grow and continue to grow? Have I displayed my willingness to want to grow and continue to learn?
Oh, of course. I mean, even just as our coach, but even as individuals with all of us, like, I'm pretty sure, I've given you a little bit of headaches here and there, but you've been able to get past that. We've been able to get past that. And, you just show up every day. When there's something you don't know, or there's something that you're not sure of, you go get that, because you are the tip of the spear for us. If we don't know it and you don't know it, there's going to be a reason for you to go get it. And the fact that, just seeing Vernon and where he's at and what he's doing, with the buyer side, like, I gave him a great one-on-one afterwards when he coached me up. Like, man, I see why we crushing it on this end. Like, he's tearing shit up, and his
That's
ruthless
right.
accountability, it really goes to show you that he means what he's saying. It's not that he's being tough on you or even yourself because you guys want to be or you have to be. It's because you guys really see what we can't see in ourselves. And you guys prove that through me, because look at all the uncertainty and shit that I had going on, after post hurting my leg. I was all over the place, and you guys helped me get back on schedule. So, I'm grateful for you guys. And I always tell Kenny, even though he don't talk too much, like, I'm grateful for him and his team, because, I had some reflection. Like, I did a video, like, yeah, I bought my mom a car, I bought my brother a car, I bought a house, I bought myself a car. I've been able to tell pretty much anyone in my family and take care of some of my folks. So, this shit is not just words that I'm saying, this actual facts. And I'm just thankful that one of my best friends is getting ready to fuck this game up. And my newest best friend, Jacob, just look at him, man. This kid's shining. He's only 24. He's gonna be taking
That's
care
right.
of me in
That's
10 years.
right. That's
Shit.
right. Listen, you guys, when we talk about growth, right? And it started here, growth to the grave, right? Growth to the grave. How am I going to push you to be the best humans possible, to be the best realtors possible, and I'm sitting on my ass, right? I'm not going to front. I'm going to lead by example, because opportunity dances with those that are already on the dance floor. Opportunity dances with those that are already on the dance floor. I'll be in the dirt with you guys. I'm committed to growth, and I want to always lead by example, because listen, you guys, 5 years ago, like I said, none of this existed for me. I look at you and I see the growth that you've had and the people that you've impacted and buying your mom's houses and cars and traveling and a mama's son taking 3 weeks off and taking her family on vacation last year. Like, I see it all, you guys, and that's what keeps me going, and that's what keeps me inspired. Mama San, let's hear from you. Action that you took in this last week, and what were the results? Let's hear from you. Great to see you.
Thank you. Well,
I'm in your sister city out here. I'm walking over here.
yeah, man, I'm here. Actually, back from Mexico yesterday. I had the blessing to be able to take my mother and my three sisters to Mexico for Mother's Day. We had a great time. So hard work pays off. That is my why, my family. And so this week, even though I was on vacation, I took the time. I had some time planned out for work. But Patrick and I did a buyer's consultation Zoom. We got a BRBC sign, so we got a new client, and we're working with. I've got two closings I'm working on. I'm closing one today, and then I'm closing one on Monday. So came back for that. Made sure I'm present. No matter what, work is first. Work, family's first, then work. And I have 4 open houses that I'm going to be doing this weekend. And what else? Yeah, that's it. Just back to work.
That's okay. First off, another year, another vacation, another family experience, right? That's what the money is about, right? The money's not about all these things that we could buy. It's how many experiences can we create with the people that we love the most, right? And I really, really love this. But when did this change for you? So, Andrea, you've been in the game now for a few years. When did you start to see things start to shift in your business and in your life? Like, was there a catalyst moment? Was there a system that you put in place? Was there a mindset shift? Was there a belief shift? Like, when did you start to see this business change? Because you're coming off your best year yet. This will be better than last year. And so when did you start to see it shift?
Well, yeah, last year was my best year, but the year before that was like my hardest year. And so I think that was the shift. And the shift was a lot of it was leaning on the team, leveraging our partnerships with each other. Like Patrick this week when I was out of town, he was there to help me or us and our clients tour clients, So like work with your teammates, partner up because you're always, oh, that's the thing. Always, so, and I did a lot of, I closed 8 deals with Sunny last year, and I learned so much from him last year. Every single transaction, learn from each other. So that's
Totally. I love this, and Mama San. So tell me, what's one thing about Patrick that he does during his presentation that you always look at him and be like, I like that. I like how he says that or puts that across. What's one thing that Patrick does
Yeah,
that you're always like, yeah, I like that.
he's sharp, man. He's sharp. He's just I don't know. I can't say one thing, but he's just really good with the customers and the way he communicates. And yeah.
It's very warm, right? When you talk to
Yeah.
Patrick, it's like it's really easy to relate to him. He has a style about him that's very, very inviting. And like having you both work a client, I could see how that would be really effective. And so great stuff. I love how this is growing for you and the partnership. And so great share. Appreciate that. Let's go to Brandy. Brandy, great job finding this event to get Brianna out of her comfort zone. Talk to us about the action that you've taken this week and the results in your life and your business. Let's roll.
All right. Well, there's been a lot of action, a lot of stuff and moving parts. I want to say intensity has had a really big impact and I think a lot of it is prepping for intensity. And then this milestone that I'm in this week. So it kind of goes with knowing your worth and what you're willing to risk and setting up all your systems. And what I've realized through the past few weeks on doing intensity, and this isn't a plug to intensity, but I'm definitely a fan. And just wanting so much out of your business and that saying when it's like, your own potential, but you're not fully living up to it. And you kind of have to check yourself. And obviously I'm in a place in my life where everything is new for me and I'm doing it by myself with 5 kids. So there's a little bit of grace there, but just pushing past all those limits and going, what's next? What's next? What other hard thing can I do today? Okay, well, I did all this other hard stuff. What else is happening today? And just building that confidence. And I've learned just like right now in this week, I've decided to let go an entire storage that has cost me a lot of money over the last few years. And I have big attachment to it. And I had to say, I called Brianna crying. I called my dad crying. I was like, I cannot believe. And it was like the grace and that talk of just being like, hey, it's okay. Your past mistake and what you've done isn't going that should not affect you because you're now growing from it. And I realized if I could tell you guys all the hard stuff that I've done in the last few weeks, and that is kind of my sentiment and my passion is, if, like you said, Elias, if you're willing to sit in the dirt and you're willing to do all these hard things and show that to everyone. So, and that's for me. It's like, if I can do all these things that some people probably could never even imagine of doing, and doing it in such a positive way. So it's like, and I connect that with home ownership, because it's like I'm rebuilding my entire life, and it starts in the home. And so that's where I'm at. And it's like, yeah, so I'm getting rid of a storage. Like, I'm looking at these items that mean so much, that are reminding me of a business that I once built. And I'm just saying, let's throw it all in the garbage. Let's get rid of it.
Like
So
like this purge that you're doing, and this release is in a sense closure, right? And so it's like you're releasing this and you're letting go of that energy, and you're having closure that's going to help you grow in life. And so really appreciate you sharing that, because I can only imagine how hard that is, the sentimental value, the attachment, memories, all the things. And so, I'm inspired by that, because I know that that's really challenging. But let's, talk about hard things for a minute. I've formed a really good relationship with Lindsay Stevens out here. She's the #1 team leader in the state of New York, runs the #1 team in the state of New York. And she's constantly doing hard things. She believes in relentless forward motion. And she's constantly doing the hardest things in her life by choice, right? She's a runner. She just did the marathon. She's doing endurance, events. And so she's like, the more hard things that I do on purpose, when I get into situations that are litigious, or I'm up against the wall against something, it makes things a little bit easier, right? You guys, eating healthy is pretty hard, but having bad health is even harder, right? Like, prospecting is really hard, and getting told no is hard, but so is being broke, right? That shit's really hard, right? It's just like, yeah, having the conversation with the sister that you haven't spoke with for years. Yeah, that shit's fucking hard, but it's even harder to say, well, what if something happens to my sister and I can't talk to her anymore? And then I have to shoulder that burden, right? And think about that. So it's just like, we need to embrace doing harder things. You think the first mile when you run isn't hard? Yeah, like if you went out right now and you'd never ran a mile, that shit's gonna hurt. You're gonna get like 2 blocks, like, oh, why did I choose to do this? But if you do that over and over again, now you're at a half a mile, now you're at a mile, you're like, God, like, now that mile is nothing. I could do it in 8 to 10 minutes. So you have to encourage yourself to be able to walk into the hard things. When you first start to lift weights, the weights are heavy, but as you do it more, you're like, now I'm starting to build. I'm starting to grow. This is a little bit easier. And so each of us need to embrace, what hard things can I do today? And I so appreciate you sharing that, Brandy. And that is on a whole deeper level. And so I appreciate you sharing. And you got a homie here, Brianna, she's your ride or die, right? Like, you guys didn't know each other before the team, and like, she's your homie that is always going to be here to support you. I see her clicking, doing all this, curling her hair, whatever this, things. So really good contribution. Chris, let's go over to you. What's your contribution? Otis, I'll come back to you. We're going to rapid fire this. Let's go, Chris.
Yeah, as far as action taking, I actually got two seller leads I've been working on for a while. I finally got into sign the listing agreement. So one's going live today, and one's going live on Monday. And I've been dealing with more sellers than buyers, which is actually a blessing. But you got to realize that we're professional problem solvers. A lot of these sellers, it's tough. I deal with a lot of people that are older, or they're having to sell the home in a trust because their mom had to go to a convalescent home, and there's already a lot of emotions going on. So before even getting them to commit, you got to do so much work behind the scenes. You got to get estimates for all the repairs. You got to price out stagers, and when you could bring that value and show them that you're looking after their best interest and saving them some money, then they're likely to commit and move forward. And also, you got to kind of keep your composure. I just came off some really difficult deals where it was totally not my fault. And the other side, multiple extensions, contingent properties that affect multiple families, all because the lender is he's pushing things out. And it's crazy. I had deals where the wife's crying, and it's totally not my fault. And you can't really control how other people perform. You can only just be totally transparent and be by them, keep your composure, and just be like a psychologist and like we're doing everything. So if you're just a professional problem solver and you be the voice of reason for them and you always bring value, you're always going to close the deal. So and sometimes I go through deals I close and I just want to just stop for a month and be like, damn, kind of emotionally draining. But I realize that I can't stop. Like you said, being broke is harder than anything, and I want money in the bank, and so that keeps me going, But it's always worth it when you're going to the house with the balloons and bottle of liquor saying congratulations, it's all done. They're totally happy, and it makes it all worthwhile. So just be a professional problem solver, guys. Bring value, keep it transparent, and always stay composed when everybody else around you could be going crazy.
Yeah, Chris, I think you do a really, really good job at that. I think that's one of your superpowers is just having the sense of poise and being whelmed when everything's overwhelmed. Like you just have this sense of staying in the pocket, right? And that's a skill. Staying in the pocket means that I'm not going to be deterred. I'm not going to go this way. I'm not going to bag or have all of your baggage be my baggage. I'm going to stay in the pocket. I'm going to stay right here. And you do a really good job at that. But I had a thought while Chris was talking, and the reason I have this thought is that we're right here in Times Square. When we came out here in January, I had the opportunity to ring the bell at the NASDAQ. And I was just thinking about this as Chris was talking. When a company goes public and they launch their initial public offering, their IPO, that means what they're doing is now they're getting all of this money from investors. People buy stock to buy into the company that they now leverage that stock to build and grow their company. That's why people go public. Now they're using other people's money to grow the company in different ways that they might not have had before because there was limitations on the amount of money that they had. So they go public. Now it opens up all of these opportunities for them. And so I was thinking about this and I wrote this down while Chris was talking. You need to ask yourself right now, am I a licensed realtor or am I running a business? Okay. And there's a clear delineation there. You could have a license. You could post on social media. You could say that you're a realtor. That's all good and well. But the barrier of entry to be a realtor is not that hard. Okay, it's not that hard. Some hours spending, studying and going and taking the state exam. It's not that hard. But running a business is hard. And if you are not running a business, and if you're not running a structure, if you don't have processes, if you don't have a formula, then are you truly wanting to serve your clients? People always talk, oh, I need to get my systems in place. By when? Oh, yeah, I'm not good at that. Well, when are you going to fix it? Oh, I know I should be on social. When are you going to get on social? So it's just like, are you running a business right now? Or do you just have a real estate license? That is a clear delineation. I'm running a business, right? Systems, processes, flows, proven processes, right? People, processes, connection, all of that. Like you guys are running a business. You have a choice and you need to look at yourself right now. You're walking in a Shark Tank. And I always ask you guys to think about it in this way. You're walking into Shark Tank to pitch your company to get someone to invest in you. This is your Shark Tank moment to walk in and talk to them about your brand, your identity, your cause, your purpose, your crusade. Now you talk to them about the numbers. Just like Chris has said, just like Otis has said, just like Mama-san has said about what they have in the pipe, meaning that they could predict what type of GCI they have in the pipe based on how many people are already connecting with them, how many homes are showing, how many listings are coming soon, how many offers are written. So I have an understanding of my top line GCI, which is my revenue. And after that, my net operating income is going to be X amount. That's running a fucking business. Your accounts receivable, your accounts payable. You run a marketing department. And if you don't run all of that, then guess what? You as the CEO, you don't get to eat. You don't get a paycheck. So you have to really evaluate what you're doing in this business and say, hold on, am I actually running a business or do I just have a real estate license? And that is a clear delineation. Otis, what do you have for them? Rapid fire, big dog.
That's deep. I'll go through that real quick. I tell Jacob that all the time. He does a great job of doing all the other things, but I tell him you're still running a business. Not only our business, you're the CEO of your own, you're a CEO of mine, but we still need to spend time, learning about real estate. We have to market, we have to do that. So me, him, and Gary, we've been getting together the last few weeks. We got the billboards coming, we got a bunch of stuff coming. So that's just one thing. I'm glad you said that. People be just getting a real estate license so they can say they're a realtor and be that 89% that don't move forward. But my sentiment really was for Brandy. I am someone who can understand what you were going through. I had identity crisis. I had imposter syndrome. And I think that's what slowed me down my first whole year. And that's why I didn't get any business, because I wasn't ready to let go from that former business, that former person. And I truly believe that now that you've made that, I think that you've already been on your ascendance, my sister. So just, it's okay to let go, to build, to be somewhere else. It took me a long time not to want to be Mr. Overtime anymore and to be Otis White. And it wasn't until I got back to being Otis White till I realized I can still be Mr. Overtime and Otis White. So I'm running up the bag in real estate so it clicked me to do all the other things. And the biggest thing was forgiveness from the other business, for me forgiving my brother, even though I don't feel like it was my fault. I didn't want another 4 years to go forward. So we made up. We've been back together. And in that sense, kind of came Gary, because Gary, is in the middle of all that stuff that was going on. And now look what Gary's at and what Gary's doing. And I've been gone back to make bread and break bread with my brother, because he took care of me when my brother got killed. And he opened me with welcome arms for me to be Mr. Overtime. So I got up to a position to where I'm going back, and he's who I started the staging company with. So it's okay, my sister, to let go in the beginning, because at the end, you write your story and you can be where you want to be.
And I really appreciate this. And as you were speaking, I wrote this down. I want you guys to think about this. And let's stay here for a moment as we start to wrap sesh. I want you to think about your life right now and think about things that you could purge. Now, Brandy's doing a physical purge of items and things, right? But is there things that we could purge that are no longer serving us? Meaning, is there a belief that I have of myself that I need to get rid of, that I need to purge? Is there a relationship that is no longer serving me that I need to let go in order for me to grow? Is there a belief that I had from my parents, from my upbringing, from my neighborhood, from my past, from the conditions that I still hold with me today that I need to purge and let go? Do I have thoughts that are no longer serving me? Do I have systems that are no longer serving me? And when we think about this metaphor of purging, I think that it is applicable to all areas of our life. So I think that this is a really powerful message, Brandy, and thank you for kind of shifting the mood of our coaching today. I want you guys to think about that. There's probably things in your life right now, for whatever reason, you're holding on to. But if you purge, you would grow. And I know it's scary. But I promise you, if you just let that go, you would find a different part of who you are. You would expand, and you would no longer feel like that was the one thing that was holding you back in this life. You'd be able to free yourself. And I think that this is a really good exercise for you to say, okay, is there a relationship? Is there a thing? Is there a process? Is there a belief? Is there a mindset that I can release in order for me to grow? Right? She's doing a physical purge, but is there something you could do that is non-physical? Brandy, what do you got for them?
Okay, I have to be off mute because my service is bad. But I just want to add to that, uh, just so everyone knows that there are the solutions. So in the meantime of doing this purge, and doing the purge of the garage is probably the less of the purge that I've done over the or not garage, the storage in my business and stuff, is minuscule to the other purges that I've done within the last few weeks. However, as a side note to that, letting go this week, I'm going to be receiving the biggest income check that my family has ever received, that I have ever received, that my family as two parents has ever received. I will be receiving that this week. I did that by myself, purging, letting go, with 5 kids. So it's like in the sentiment of purging and letting go, and there's a risk, and you got to sacrifice it. You got to sacrifice something to get more. And I knew that was coming. So yeah, so just to add, not to spoil the plot twist or anything like that, but
No, I think it adds to the plot twist for sure.
Yeah. So, and in receiving this check, I also have to let go of more things. So, which I'm going to be working on those solutions. So,
You know what?
but yeah.
Congratulate, like for her to say that this is the biggest income check, even when there's two people with a paycheck, like that's such a huge moment for your family. And think like she's got 5 kids out there grinding, like no excuses at all. So what a beautiful testimonial. Like that is absolutely incredible. We're gonna wrap session, you guys. We're gonna go around the room, get a couple key takeaways as we always do. But before we do so, hopefully I can show this to you and hopefully it conveys. Let's do this. So it's cloudy, but you guys, open this up, babe.
It's raining now.
So I am looking down at Times Square in the middle of New York City, where my family first came from Italy, came to this beautiful country, and this is where I get to be.
I'm walking
Right?
here.
I'm fucking walking over here, huh? Right, with my wife and Bill, like this is where my family came to create a life for us in the United States. And like, I don't know, just I had to share that with you guys because it's such a powerful moment for me that I'll never take lightly. I'll never take lightly. Like I am just beyond grateful to be here with my wife to go explore. It's raining, but we're gonna put raincoats on. That's it. We're gonna go have some fun. It's raining, so we get an umbrella. Forget about it. We're going to be out here having some fun. So I want to share that with you guys, just having a moment of true gratitude. I'm going to go over to Misty. Misty, I want to hear one key thought and key takeaway. And hey, listen, thanks for being here as a guest. I sent her the link earlier today. So thanks for being here. So Misty, one key thought, one key takeaway from our time together.
I wrote down a lot of notes. Several of the things that I took away is I really love, how you ask everybody about the action that they've taken this week. I think that sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit for the work that we do. I know me for sure. I know that there are some people who don't do the work, but I always feel like myself, like I'm not doing enough. And I love the idea of purging things in my life. I know that I have a lot of things that I've really held on to. I have a lot of past trauma and past experiences with material things and mental and emotional things. So what I'm going to take away from this is to really do a lot of work on purging materials and, feelings that I have about past things and letting those go and working through them.
God, you know what? Misty, thank you for being here. Like, thank you. We never know what's going to happen, what's going to surface. We have a general idea, but like so much of what we do and Keep It Moving is very organic, right? It's very organic and it's based on the contributions of people on this call. That's why I believe so heavily in the collective wisdom. So Misty, thanks for being a guest. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being present. And you have my commitment. I will help you grow and I'll help you get that story out to the world. That's my commitment to you. Let's go. Let's go.
Appreciate it. I hope I can come back next week. I'm gonna put this on my calendar for Fridays. I've really enjoyed this. A lot of positivity from everybody. I love hearing all of your stories and accomplishments this week. It makes me feel good to hear you guys succeeding. So hopefully I can come back next week.
Hey, Misty, with your accent, you could come anytime to this session. We do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So you're welcome anytime. Let's go, Mama San. What do you got for them? Key takeaway from our time together today. Let's roll.
Key takeaway, what I use every day is carpe diem, which means seize the day, take risks, live in the moment, take opportunities, just do it now. Don't wait.
Let's go. Let's go. Tomorrow's never promised. Never promised. So I appreciate that. Let's go, Brianna. What do we got for them? The hair's crimped. It's ready to go. Let's go.
And I'm going to piggyback right off of what Miss Mama San said. Don't do it alone. Don't do it alone. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we show up here, we do it together. Don't do it alone. Find your tribe, grab them, and don't do it alone. It's so much funner together.
That's right. That's right. Otis, I appreciate that. My wife is excited to be here. We're going to have some fun. Brandy, last contribution. You had your hand up, or unless that's an old hand, one key thought, one key takeaway from our time together today. Let's roll. Brandy going once, Brandy going twice. All right, cool, you guys. Listen, everything that is happening in my life right now is just years and years of hard work, like years and years of hard work, like what's happening with their company, what's happening with coaching, what's happening with opportunities. You guys, it's just hard work. Listen, it's never been perfect. It's just me showing up and showing my heart and being my authentic self. And things are opening up. But you guys, I will always move forward no matter what. That's what we do here. Keep it moving. It's not just, oh, I thought that was a cool sounding thing. No, like we're truly keeping it moving towards our dreams, goals, and vision. That's the purpose. That's the cause, and that's the crusade. And I'm going to walk in that, and I'm going to embody that for myself, for my family, and for each of you. My hope is that each of you grow because you're in this environment and that you help other people grow. That is the true strength of this group. So you guys, I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being present. As always, keep it moving toward your dreams, goals, and vision. And I'll see you on Monday morning. Peace.